Pacific Ocean, 180 nautical miles west of Cabo San Lucas. 11:47 p.m. Moonless night, perfect darkness. USS Gabrielle Giffords, Independence-class littoral combat ship conducting routine anti-narcotics patrol in international waters. Suddenly radar contact. Multiple high-speed vessels moving in tight formation, running dark. No navigation lights, no transponders, heading northeast toward the California coast. Speed 45 knots, military precision. This wasn't recreational boating at midnight. The contacts appeared on sonar simultaneously. 12 cigarette boats, each one capable of carrying 2,000 pounds of pure Colombian cocaine. Street value per vessel, $250 million. Total cargo value approaching $3 billion. The largest single drug shipment ever intercepted in Pacific waters. But the Sinaloa cartel had made 3 catastrophic miscalculations. First, those weren't fishing boats on the horizon. USS Gabrielle Giffords carried advanced surveillance systems specifically designed to track fast-moving drug runners in complete darkness. Second, the cartel believed they were invisible at night, running without lights in international waters where American vessels couldn't legally intercept them. They were wrong. Third, this particular stretch of ocean had been under continuous surveillance by Joint Interagency Task Force South for 6 weeks. Every cartel movement monitored, every route mapped, every weakness cataloged. What happened in the next 4 hours and 23 minutes became the most devastating blow to international drug trafficking operations in maritime history, and the most successful Navy anti-narcotics mission ever conducted under cover of darkness. This is that story. For 18 months, DEA intelligence had tracked unprecedented cocaine production in Colombia. Jungle laboratories operating at maximum capacity. Processing facilities running triple shifts. Refined product stockpiling in coastal warehouses from Cartagena to Buenaventura. Conservative estimates suggested 50,000 pounds of pure cocaine ready for export. But where was it going and how would they move it? The answer came from an unlikely source. Captured communications intercepts revealed the Sinaloa cartel had negotiated the largest drug purchase in history. 24,000 pounds of Colombian cocaine. Single transaction, $3 billion street value. Payment in advance. Gold bullion and cryptocurrency transfers already completed. The cocaine would travel by sea, avoiding heavily monitored land routes through Central America. At 9:30 p.m., 12 custom-built cigarette boats departed Tumaco, Colombia. Each vessel stretched 50 feet, powered by triple Mercury racing engines producing 1,650 horsepower. Capable of 65 knots in calm seas. Radar-absorbing hull coatings, advanced GPS navigation systems, fuel capacity for 1,200 nautical miles without refueling. Professional crews, former Colombian Navy personnel recruited specifically for this operation. The plan was sophisticated. Travel in formation during darkness to avoid satellite detection. Maintain radio silence using predetermined waypoints. Rendezvous with mothership 200 miles west of Mexican coast for refueling. Final approach to California beaches during pre-dawn hours when Coast Guard patrols were lightest. Each boat would land at different locations simultaneously, overwhelming law enforcement response capabilities. But American intelligence had been watching. Operation Blackwater, a joint Navy Coast Guard DEA initiative, had positioned assets throughout the eastern Pacific. Satellites tracked heat signatures, underwater sensors monitored acoustic patterns. Aircraft conducted covert surveillance flights. The entire drug convoy was under observation from the moment they left Colombian territorial waters. USS Gabriel Giffords received classified orders at 10:15 p.m. Intercept high-value narcotic shipment approaching international waters. Multiple fast attack vessels suspected of carrying massive cocaine payload. Authorization level Alpha. Weapons free if threatened. Do not allow cargo to reach United States territorial waters. Commander Lisa Rodriguez, Gabrielle Gifford's commanding officer, immediately understood the stakes. This wasn't routine interdiction. Intelligence estimates suggested enough cocaine to supply American markets for 6 months. Street value exceeding GDP of most countries. Failure meant flooding communities across America with deadly narcotics. All hands, this is the captain. We have multiple high-speed contacts approaching from the south. Intelligence indicates major narcotics shipment. This is not a drill. Man battle stations. Prepare for intercept operations. These vessels will not reach American waters. At 11:47 p.m., radar operators detected the convoy. 12 contacts in diamond formation, maintaining 45 knots, running completely dark in international waters. Range 35 nautical miles and closing. Electronic warfare specialists immediately began jamming communications frequencies, preventing coordination between cartel vessels. The cigarette boats had sophisticated countermeasures. Encrypted radio systems, night vision equipment, automatic weapons for crew protection. Each vessel carried a professional navigator and armed security team. Total personnel count exceeded 60 cartel operatives, many with military training and combat experience. Commander Rodriguez ordered immediate response. Launch MH-60S. Seahawk helicopter with night vision capabilities. Deploy over-the-horizon targeting systems. Activate long-range anti-ship missile batteries. Prepare boarding teams with night operations equipment. The cartel convoy was about to discover that running drugs in international waters during a moonless night wasn't invisible to American naval technology. At 11:52 p.m., the Seahawk helicopter lifted off from Gabrielle Gifford's flight deck. Crew equipped with advanced thermal imaging systems capable of detecting engine heat signatures from 20 miles away. Forward-looking infrared cameras providing crystal-clear imagery despite complete darkness. The helicopter climbed to 2,000 feet, invisible and silent to the drug runners below. Immediately, thermal imaging revealed the truth. 12 high-performance vessels in tight formation, engines glowing white-hot on infrared sensors. Each boat showing massive heat signatures from triple racing engines running at maximum power. Personnel movement visible on deck. Suspicious cargo containers secured amidships. Everything confirmed intelligence assessments. Seahawk pilot to Gabrielle Giffords. Visual contact confirmed. 12 vessels in diamond formation. Heavy engine signatures. Armed personnel visible. Cargo containers consistent with narcotics transport. Request instructions. Commander Rodriguez's response was immediate. Maintain surveillance altitude. Do not engage. Relay targeting data to fire control systems. Prepare to illuminate targets on my command. The cartel convoy continued northeast, unaware they were being tracked by advanced American surveillance systems. Their sophisticated navigation equipment showed clear water ahead. Radar screens displayed no contacts. Communications remained silent per operational security protocols. From their perspective, the mission was proceeding perfectly. But at 11:58 p.m., everything changed. USS Gabrielle Giffords activated her most powerful searchlight systems. Suddenly, the Black Ocean erupted in brilliant white light. 12 cigarette boats illuminated simultaneously, caught in the middle of international waters carrying $3 billion worth of Colombian cocaine. The cartel response was immediate panic. Engines roared to maximum power. Boats scattered from formation. Emergency communications flooded previously silent radio channels. Spanish voices shouting coordinates, evasion routes, contingency procedures. The careful military precision dissolved into chaos as drug runners realized they were trapped in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with nowhere to hide. This is USS Gabrielle Giffords to unidentified vessels. You are suspected of carrying illegal narcotics in international waters. Reduce speed immediately and prepare for boarding. Any attempt to flee or resist will result in the use of force. The lead cigarette boat's response came in heavily accented English over maritime radio. American warship. We are recreational vessels conducting night fishing operations. We carry no illegal cargo. We are in international waters and request safe passage. Commander Rodriguez wasn't buying the deception. Night fishing with no lights, no fishing equipment visible, traveling at 45 knots in tight military formation. The thermal imaging from her helicopter showed armed personnel and cargo containers, not fishing gear. Negative. Cut engines and prepare for inspection. You have 60 seconds to comply or we will disable your vessels. Instead of compliance, the cartel convoy scattered. 12 boats breaking formation in different directions, engines screaming at maximum power, trying to disappear into the darkness beyond the searchlight's reach. The largest drug interdiction in Pacific history had just become a high-speed chase across international waters. International waters. At 12:01 a.m., the chase began. 12 cigarette boats accelerating in different directions, desperate to escape American searchlights. But Commander Rodriguez had anticipated this exact scenario. USS Gabrielle Giffords wasn't hunting alone. From beneath the dark Pacific surface, USS Hampton, Virginia-class attack submarine had been shadowing the convoy for 2 hours. Silent running, invisible to cartel detection systems waiting for orders. At 400 feet depth, sonar operators tracked every vessel movement with pinpoint accuracy. Hampton actual to Gabrielle Giffords. We have all 12 contacts on passive sonar. Tracking dispersal patterns. Recommend surface and prosecute. We can cut off escape routes to the east. Simultaneously, 2 additional assets revealed themselves. USS Freedom, sister ship to Gabrielle Giffords, emerged from radar shadow 25 nautical miles northwest. Coast Guard cutter Stratton approached from the northeast. The cartel convoy had scattered directly into a coordinated trap. The fastest cigarette boat, designated Contact Alpha, broke due north at maximum speed. Triple engines producing 1,650 horsepower. Hull hydroplaning across calm seas at 62 knots. Professional crew, former Colombian Special Forces armed with automatic weapons and military-grade communications equipment. But American naval technology proved superior. Gabrielle Gifford's MH-60S helicopter maintained pursuit thermal imaging systems tracking the fleeing vessel despite complete darkness. Advanced forward-looking infrared cameras provided crystal-clear targeting data to weapon systems below. Seahawk pilot reporting. Contact Alpha maintaining 62 knots due north. Range 8 nautical miles and increasing. Armed personnel visible on deck. Cargo containers secured amidships. Request permission to disable. Commander Rodriguez authorized immediate action. Fire warning shots. If they don't stop, disable engines. That cocaine doesn't reach American waters. The helicopter pilot switched to weapon systems. M240 machine gun mounted on starboard door. Night vision targeting system engaged. Precision firing solution calculated. At 12:04 a.m., warning shots streaked across the cigarette boat's bow. Bright muzzle flashes visible for miles, tracers illuminating the darkness. Contact Alpha's response was immediate escalation. Automatic weapons fire erupted from the fleeing vessel, muzzle flashes lighting up the ocean surface. AK-47 rounds spraying wildly at the pursuing helicopter, none finding their target but demonstrating cartel desperation. The helicopter pilot's training kicked in immediately. Evasive maneuvers, gaining altitude, returning precision fire. The M240 machine gun opened up with controlled bursts. Rounds impacting the cigarette boat's engine compartment with devastating accuracy. Sparks flying, smoke billowing, engines seizing under direct fire. Contact Alpha slowed dramatically, engines destroyed, dead in the water. $12 million worth of pure Colombian cocaine floating helpless in international waters. The crew attempted to destroy evidence, throwing packages overboard, but thermal imaging tracked every movement. Meanwhile, Contact Bravo fled southwest at 58 knots. USS Freedom intercepted at maximum speed, her own helicopter providing aerial surveillance. The cigarette boat carried 2,000 pounds of cocaine, street value $250 million, professional crew armed with military weapons. Freedom's approach was different. Instead of helicopter pursuit, they deployed their advanced surface warfare capabilities, 57mm Bofors gun system, computer-controlled targeting, precision ammunition designed for fast-moving surface targets. At 12:07 a.m., Freedom opened fire. High-velocity rounds screaming across dark water, explosive impact just ahead of the fleeing cigarette boat. The message was clear: stop immediately or face direct engagement. Contact Bravo attempted evasive maneuvers, zigzagging at high speed, but 57mm naval artillery doesn't miss. The second salvo struck the vessel's stern, disabling steering and propulsion systems. Another cartel boat neutralized, another massive drug shipment secured. But the most dramatic confrontation involved Contacts Charlie, Delta, and Echo. 3 cigarette boats traveling in close formation, attempting to overwhelm USS Hampton's surface position through coordinated attack. Their mistake was assuming a submarine would be vulnerable once surfaced. Hampton breached at 12:09 a.m. Massive nuclear-powered attack submarine rising from the depths like a steel leviathan. Emergency ballast blow. Compressed air forcing water from tanks. 7,800-ton vessel surfacing in less than 90 seconds. The sight terrified cartel operatives who had never encountered military submarine operations. Hampton's deck gun, A 12.7 millimeter heavy machine gun system engaged immediately. 3 cigarette boats attempting to scatter but coordinated fire from multiple weapon systems created an inescapable kill zone. Precision marksmanship disabled engines, destroyed communications equipment, forced immediate surrender. Coast Guard cutter Stratton handled the eastern escape routes. 4 cigarette boats fleeing toward Mexican territorial waters, believing they could outrun the larger Coast Guard vessel. They underestimated American maritime law enforcement capabilities. Stratton deployed her MH-65 Dolphin helicopter, specifically configured for drug interdiction operations. Advanced surveillance systems, precision weapons, experienced crew trained for exactly this scenario. The helicopter caught all 4 vessels within 12 minutes, forcing them into a coordinated surrender through superior firepower. Contact Lima attempted the most audacious escape, racing due west toward open ocean, hoping to disappear beyond radar range before dawn. The cigarette boat carried the largest cocaine payload, 2,400 pounds of pure Colombian product, making it the highest value target in the convoy. But Contact Lima encountered something unexpected. USS Ohio, converted ballistic missile submarine conducting classified operations, had been monitoring drug trafficking routes for weeks. When the massive convoy scattered, Ohio received authorization to surface and intercept. The sight was unprecedented. Nuclear submarine longer than a football field, displacing 18,750 tons, rising from Black Pacific waters directly in front of the fleeing cigarette boat. The cartel crew immediately cut engines, realizing escape was impossible against such overwhelming American naval presence. By 12:18 a.m., 11 of 12 vessels were disabled or surrendered. Only Contact Mike remained at large, the smallest boat carrying 1,800 pounds of cocaine, racing southeast toward Colombian waters at maximum speed. The crew believed they could escape back to friendly territory before American forces could intercept. They were wrong. USS Gabriel Giffords had been tracking Contact Mike continuously, allowing the vessel to believe it was escaping while secretly herding it toward the largest trap of all. At predetermined coordinates, the fleeing cigarette boat encountered something that ended their escape permanently. USS Ronald Reagan, Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, appeared on the horizon with full battle group escort. 90,000 tons of American naval power carrying 60 combat aircraft, surrounded by guided missile cruisers and destroyers. The entire Pacific Fleet had been positioned to ensure not a single gram of Colombian cocaine reached American shores. Contact Mike's crew immediately surrendered, overwhelmed by the massive display of American military strength. The final cigarette boat was secured, completing the largest drug interdiction in maritime history. 4:23 a.m., Pacific Ocean, 180 nautical miles west of Cabo San Lucas. Mission complete. 12 cartel vessels captured. 63 drug runners in custody. 24,000 pounds of pure Colombian cocaine seized. Street value $3 billion. 0 American casualties. 0 drugs reached United States territorial waters. The largest maritime drug interdiction in Pacific history, executed flawlessly under cover of darkness. What Operation Blackwater proved was decisive. Advanced surveillance technology makes ocean darkness irrelevant. Coordinated naval response eliminates cartel escape routes. International waters provide no sanctuary for drug traffickers when American forces deploy systematically. The Sinaloa cartel learned that sophisticated planning, military-grade equipment, and professional crews mean nothing against superior American naval capabilities. For drug cartels worldwide, the lesson was profound. The Pacific Ocean isn't empty water where smugglers operate invisibly. Every square mile is monitored, every suspicious vessel tracked, every escape route anticipated. When cartels risk $3 billion shipments, American naval forces respond with overwhelming firepower and precision coordination. 11:47 p.m. Cartel convoy detected running dark in international waters. 4:23 a.m. All vessels captured, all drugs seized, all operatives arrested. 4 hours, 23 minutes. Total American victory. This is what happens when drug traffickers challenge United States naval supremacy. The seas belong to America, and $3 billion worth of cocaine will never poison American communities.